We are pleased to invite you to an enlightening discussion on a subject that speaks to each and every one of us: overcome fear. Despite the fact that fear is one of the most potent feelings that it is possible to experience, it is frequently misunderstood. It has the power to bring us to a state of paralysis, to keep us confined to our comfort zones, and to hinder us from realizing our full potential. Fear, on the other hand, is not something that should be avoided. Rather, it is something that should be tackled and successfully overcome. We are going to discuss how fear, when correctly understood and managed, may really become a driving force for success. Today we are going to make this discovery. You see, the most successful people in the world are not those who are fearless. Rather, they are those who have learned to confront their anxieties head on, to use that energy to propel themselves ahead and to rise above the restrictions that fear imposes on them. In this session, we will work together to identify the resources and methods that will enable you to identify your fears, confront them, and eventually triumph over them. After completing this session, you will be armed with the knowledge and confidence to change fear from an obstacle into a stepping stone on your journey to success. This will be accomplished by the time you graduate. Let's be ready to go deep, confront our anxieties, and emerge from this experience more powerful and more in control than we have ever been before. People who are brave enough to dream and then bold enough to make those dreams come true own the world. To be truly brave, you have to fight the desire to give up. Total commitment is a strong form of bravery that can take your efforts to new heights and make your life very satisfying. Getting out of your comfort zone is a brave thing to do that will improve your personal and work life and also change the way you see the world. Being able to face and get past loss is not only a key part of success, it's also an important life skill. Being brave in this way means actively and consciously shaping your own future, realizing that you are the main builder of your life. This is where courage comes in, because you have to have a lot of faith in yourself and the things that life can offer. Hello, and welcome to a new episode of our show. Today we're going to talk about something as interesting as courage. This isn't about the courage you see in action movies, though. Everyday courage is the inner strength that pushes us to think big, fully commit to our goals, leave our comfort zone, face and get over failure, take full responsibility for our lives, and keep going even when things get hard. That's the bravery that changes lives and makes plans come true. On our journey towards success and well-being, we often encounter both external and internal barriers. One of the biggest internal barriers is fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. These fears can keep us bound, preventing us from reaching our true potential. But courage is much more than simply being fearless. It is the ability to move forward despite fear. It is about making difficult decisions, pushing beyond comfortable limits, and facing adversities with firm resolve. And while it's easy to admire the courage of others, developing it within ourselves can be a considerable challenge. We're going to explore the various ways you can cultivate and demonstrate courage in your daily life. Everyone faces their own challenges, and each situation requires a different type of courage. From making big decisions to facing failures, from taking personal responsibility to persevering in the face of setbacks. Courage manifests in many ways that can radically transform how we live and achieve our goals. We'll talk about how you can start using these methods in your everyday life, how each type of courage can help you get over different kinds of fears, and how you can become the person you were meant to be step by step. Our goal is not only to know what courage is, but also to find useful and sensible ways to improve it. How can we start taking big steps toward our very big goals? How can we keep going when everything seems to be against us? We will give you the tools you need to be braver by sharing stories, tips, and strategies in this show. Get ready to learn a lot as we break down these strong types of courage. I hope that what we are about to talk about together gives you ideas and useful information. In our society, we are often taught to be realistic, to conform to what is considered normal or safe. But what if I told you that the limits we perceive are mostly self-imposed? What if the boundaries of what you can achieve expand greatly when you decide to free yourself from the barriers of I can't or it's impossible? Dreaming big is more than an act of imagination. Big is more. It's a challenge to established norms, a rebellion against mediocrity, a refusal to settle for less than what we could achieve. This is where courage comes into play because it requires a bold act of faith in oneself and in the possibilities that life has to offer. Dreaming big means setting goals that push you, that stretch you beyond your current comfort zone. It's not just about aspiring to more money or success. It's about aspiring to be the fullest and most realized version of yourself. It's the desire to make a meaningful contribution, to leave a legacy, to change your world, and perhaps the world of others. Fear is definitely what stops people from thinking big. We're afraid to fail. We're afraid of being criticized. Maybe we won't measure up. It can change your life though, because fear means you're about to do something significant. It means that you're about to get bigger. How then are we to deal with this fear? First, picture both the success and the problems you will face. Know there will be problems and decide you have the strength to deal with them. Being ready to deal with pushback and anticipating it are both ways to build resilience. Let's do a short exercise now. Take a deep breath, close your eyes, and think of a goal you've always wanted to reach but have thought was too hard for you. Picture it in great detail. How do you feel when you think about reaching this goal? Keep that image and the thoughts that go with it in your mind. Write it down now. If you want that goal to feel real to you, write it down with all the details that help you picture it. Writing it down is the first thing you need to do to make it happen. This week, I want you to set aside time every day to dream. Make use of your goal book. Anytime, any place, talk about your dreams with people you trust or think about them while you walk. Just remember to dream big. People who are brave enough to dream and then bold enough to make those dreams come true own the world. Now we'll address the second form of courage, total commitment. This courage refers to the decision to fully dive into what one decides to do without reservations and with all the energy and passion one can muster. Total commitment is, in essence, a complete immersion in your projects and goals. It's saying yes with your whole being, involving both your mind and your heart in the process of achieving your goals. It's the conscious decision to leave nothing on the table, to give it your all, regardless of the obstacles or uncertainties that may appear along the way. Why is this type of courage so crucial? Because when you fully commit to something, you change the nature of your interaction with it. It's no longer just an interest or a hobby. It becomes a mission, a vital part of who you are. Great achievements, game-changing works don't come from half-hearted efforts. They come from wholehearted commitment. As an example, think about Olympic players. For the chance to be the best in the world, these athletes don't just train. They give up many other parts of their lives to focus on their sport. Think about business owners who are successful. They talk about their companies like they are family. They don't just work. They live and breathe their job. They show a level of dedication that goes beyond just taking part. They often have to give everything they have to keep this promise. Your point of view changes when you fully commit. All of a sudden, problems seem like they can be solved, not impossible hurdles. Failure is not a reason to give up. It's a way to learn something useful. You are committed to finding solutions and coming up with new ideas because you care deeply about the result. Changing how we feel about total commitment can often make a huge difference in how well we do and what benefits we get. For now, I want you to do something. Make a promise to live each day with full dedication if you really want to see change and success in your life. It doesn't matter if it's about your career, your personal relationships, your health, or your passions. Live in such a way that at the end of the day, you can confidently say that you gave everything you had to give. Total commitment is a powerful form of courage that can elevate your efforts to new levels and bring incredible satisfaction to your life. It's the essence of living fully, of leaving nothing untried, and of truly pursuing your dreams with all your heart and soul. Now we delve into the third form of essential courage for personal growth and success, the courage to step out of the comfort zone. We all have that safe place, that familiar corner in our lives where we feel comfortable and shielded from challenges and uncertainty. However, true transformation and real learning happen just outside this comfortable space. The comfort zone is that mental state where we feel familiar with our surroundings, routines, and behaviors to the point that any deviation from this causes stress or anxiety. It's natural to want to stay in this safe space, but personal growth requires exploring the unknown and facing new challenges. Stepping out of the comfort zone involves facing new challenges and situations that push us to adapt and learn. This courage not only helps us develop new skills, but also fosters creativity and innovation. Unfamiliar situations force us to think differently, to seek new solutions, and to be more dynamic in our interactions with the world. Fear of the unknown is what keeps people from leaving their safe zone. This fear can show up as nervousness, putting things off, or even good reasons to stay away from new things. In order to break free from the limits you put on yourself, you must first face this fear. You don't have to take huge steps into the unknown to get out of your comfort zone. You can begin with little steps. For instance, Take a different way to work, try something new in your free time, or start a new project at work that makes you feel a little awkward at first. Take the example of someone who chose to learn how to speak in public even though they were scared of it. At first, the thought was scary, but with practice and gradual exposure, they not only got over their fear, but they also found a love for talking to people that changed the course of their work. It's normal to feel uncomfortable and nervous, but it's also important to recognize the small successes on this journey. Every step outside your comfort zone is a step toward greater self-confidence and self-efficacy in the long term. Stepping out of your comfort zone can open you up to new opportunities and a sense of achievement you never thought possible. People who regularly push themselves to explore new frontiers tend to be more resilient and adaptive, essential qualities in a constantly changing world. Stepping out of the comfort zone is a form of courage that not only enhances your personal and professional life, but also enriches your perception of the world. It's a commitment to yourself not to stay stuck, not to let fear dictate your decisions. It's choosing to live a life of exploration and expansion. As we delve further into our exploration of courage, we reach a critical point that is often a major obstacle: failure. The courage to face and overcome failure is not only a crucial component for success, but also an indispensable skill for life itself. Today, we're going to take the mystery out of failure, find out what it's really worth, and learn how to use it to get better. Let's change how we think about what it means to fail. Failure is seen as a bad thing in many countries, and people try to avoid it at all costs. Failure can be a very useful thing, though, if we see it as a way to grow and learn. Our teacher is strict but fair. She tells us what we need to work on and how we can do it. We learn important things about our plans, skills, and methods every time we fail. We need this knowledge to grow as people and in our careers. Think about the great creators and thinkers who have come before you. A lot of them failed many times before they had their big success. Thomas Edison, for example, tried and failed a huge number of times before he finally came up with an electric light bulb that worked. But each loss taught him something useful that helped him succeed in the end. Let's consider great leaders and entrepreneurs of our time, like Steve Jobs, who was fired from his own company, Apple, only to return later and revolutionize it, turning it into one of the most successful companies in the world. His story teaches us that sometimes even the most painful failures can be precursors to our greatest achievements. To face failure, remember the following tips. First, accepting failure as part of the process is the first step. Don't punish or discourage yourself. Recognize that it's a necessary step. Second, examine what went wrong and why. Perform an objective analysis to understand the factors that contributed to the failure. Third, use the information you obtain to make adjustments. Every failure is an opportunity to refine your methods. And fourth, don't give up. The path to success is paved with failed attempts that turn into experience and wisdom. Although it may sound strange, celebrating failures as learning milestones is a powerful practice. Change the narrative from "I failed" to "I learned." This not only alleviates the emotional burden of failure, but also keeps you motivated and focused on your goals. Failure is not the end of the road, but an indicator that you're trying, exploring, and challenging yourself. Remember, it's not about how many times we fall, but how many times we get up, learn from our falls, and move forward with more wisdom. Moving forward in our exploration of the courage necessary for success, we now delve into personal responsibility. This type of courage involves taking an active and conscious role in creating your own destiny and recognizing that you are the primary architect of your life. Personal responsibility means acknowledging that you have control over your actions and by extension over the outcomes of those actions. It involves understanding that your decisions, your responses to circumstances, and how you manage your emotions and thoughts determine the trajectory of your life. It feels freeing to take charge of your life. You don't have to blame other people or your situation for your problems anymore, and you have the power to change your future. Being brave enough to face and accept what you can't change is the first step toward making changes that matter and last. One of the hardest things about taking responsibility is that we often put the blame on other people for our mistakes or problems. It's important to figure out this bad habit and break it, because blaming others takes away your power over your life. Admitting that your reactions are your own, no matter what other people say or do, is the first step toward change. Think about people who have done great things despite bad things happening to them, like being poor or being abused. A lot of these stories start with a person making the choice to take charge of their life, stop seeing things as obstacles that can't be moved, and start seeing them as challenges that they can beat. Getting people to be responsible is important. First, regularly take time to reflect on your decisions and their outcomes. What could you have done differently? Second, define what you want to achieve and draw up a plan to get there. Having clear goals helps you stay focused and makes you accountable for the steps needed to achieve them. Third, sometimes we can be blind to our own mistakes. Seeking feedback from others can help you see areas for improvement that you may have overlooked. And fourth, recognize your achievements and analyze your mistakes. Both are equally important for your growth. Every day, write down at least one decision you made and how it influenced your results. This exercise not only helps you develop greater awareness of your actions, but also strengthens your ability to take full responsibility for them. It's crucial to approach this journey with a dose of self-compassion. Taking responsibility doesn't mean being hard on yourself when things don't go as expected. Instead, try to understand your mistakes as learning opportunities, approaching them with curiosity rather than criticism. Taking responsibility for your life empowers you to create change, adapt, and grow. It's a form of courage that allows you to actively shape your future and face life with a perspective of action and possibility. Finally, we have the strength to keep going. It takes more than just moving forward to be persistent. It means staying committed to your goals, even though there will be problems and challenges along the way. Persevering means keeping going until you reach your goals, even if things go wrong. It means being able to deal with mistakes and failures without losing sight of your long-term goals. Persistence is what helps you see past short-term problems and focus on the end result. At times when things get tough, it's normal to want to give up. To be truly brave, you have to fight that urge. This is where being clear about your aims and being passionate about your goals are very important. You can get through almost anything if your why is strong and clear. Create plans to help you be more persistent. First, make your goals clear and easy to reach. Big dreams can be broken down into smaller goals that are easier to reach. This approach helps you see tangible progress and keeps your motivation up. Seek support. Surrounding yourself with a supportive community can strengthen your resolve, whether through mentors, friends, or colleagues. Having someone to encourage you can be crucial. And third, celebrate the small successes. Recognizing and celebrating every small success on your journey keeps your motivation alive and reminds you that you're making progress. To put what you've learned into practice, I propose a 30-day challenge. Choose a goal that you've been putting off or that has been difficult to achieve. Commit to working toward that goal every day for the next month, no matter what obstacles you encounter. Record your progress and any challenges you face, and observe how your ability to persevere strengthens with each step you take. Every setback is an opportunity to learn. Instead of getting discouraged, ask what this experience can teach you. Adjust your course as necessary, but don't lose sight of your long-term vision. Having the attitude to never give up is very important. This doesn't mean avoiding reality or making the same mistakes over and over. It means changing and moving forward, even when things get hard. It means knowing when to be open with how you do things and when to stay firm in your goals. Today is the last day of this life-changing journey through the different aspects of courage. I'd like to take a moment to think about everything we've covered, from the bravery of dreaming big, fully committing, stepping out of our comfort zones, learning from our mistakes, taking charge of our own lives, to the unwavering determination to keep going. What we've talked about so far about courage is not just an idea, it's a call to action. Courage is not something that people are born with. We get better at it by practicing and pushing ourselves to our limits all the time. We got there by facing our fears, getting back up after every fall, and following our passions with unwavering determination. In many ways, it's the very core of what it means to live a full and important life. Everything we've shared today is designed to equip you with the necessary tools to cultivate this courage in your own life. But the real work begins with you. It's about making a conscious choice every day to act despite the fear, to commit to your goals, to learn from your mistakes, and to persist despite the obstacles. As you reflect on what we've covered, I invite you to consider, what form of courage do you need to strengthen? What steps can you take today to begin or continue your journey toward that growth? The journey toward success and personal fulfillment is unique to each individual, and every step you take is a vital piece in building the life you desire. Courage is contagious, and by sharing our experiences and knowledge, we can inspire others to take the path toward a braver and more fulfilling life. As we conclude our journey into understanding and overcoming fear, remember that fear is a natural part of life, but it does not have to control your destiny. Every time you confront your fears, you take a step closer to your greatest potential. Fear is like a shadow, intimidating when you face it, but it vanishes when you walk towards it with courage and determination. The tools and strategies we've discussed today are not just theories, they are practical steps that you can apply to every area of your life. Whether it's fear of failure, fear of rejection, or fear of the unknown, you now have the power to face it head on and transform it into a catalyst for growth. The choice is yours. Will you let fear hold you back, or will you use it to push yourself forward? Remember, the greatest rewards in life often lie on the other side of fear. Embrace the challenges, take bold actions, and know that each time you conquer a fear, you unlock a new level of success and fulfillment. As you leave here today, commit to facing your fears with confidence and clarity, knowing that you have the ability to rise above them and achieve extraordinary things. Thank you for joining me on this important topic. Go out there, face your fears, and turn them into stepping stones on your path to greatness.
Lights are flashing by. We're dancing all night. Heartbeats feeling free. Just you and just me. Candy clouds up high. Touch the sky, laughing every day. Don't care what they say. Sugar rush, feel the crush. In a hush, we're in love. Feels like magic now. Lights go as we bow. Music makes us fly. Reach for stars so high. Sugar rush, feel the crush. In a hush, we're in love. World in candy hue, dreams come true. Eyes so bright with glee. You and me, we see cotton candy clouds above. Whispers of first love, holding hands so tight. Forever feels just right. Sugar rush, feel the crush. In a hush, we're in love. Sugar high, won't ever die. You and I will touch the sky. Sweet dreams on repeat. Our love forever so sweet. I was thinking you, dreams come true. Eyes so bright with glee, you and me we see. Cotton candy clouds above. Whispers of first love, holding hands so tight. Forever feels just right. Sugar rush,